This is the important thing that everyone missed during Aston Martin's really bad preseason. While the lap times look terrible, what Adrian Newey has just done to the AMR26 car behind the scenes could cause a huge change inside the team. One that changes everything about their long-term plans to win the title. Because this isn't just about being 4 seconds slower, it's about changing their whole way of thinking. Aston Martin came into 2026 with super high hopes, a brand new factory, a super modern wind tunnel, a full official partnership with Honda, and of course the most famous designer of recent times walking into Silverstone with a clipboard and complete control. On paper, this was supposed to be their big starting year. Instead, after testing in Bahrain, Pedro de la Rosa said straight out, "We are slow." Lance Stroll said they were 4 seconds off, and even the usually calm Fernando Alonso admitted they were behind. But there's something important. What the stopwatch doesn't show is what's going on inside the garage. What if this tough start isn't a failure, but a planned slowdown time? What if Newey is giving up early speed to build something much stronger for the second half of the season and the future? Before we go on, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss out on any of our latest videos. Let's explain this the right way. Now let's dig deeper. The first thing we need to get is compression. Aston Martin's wind tunnel only started working fully for 2026 car development in April. That's about 4 months behind several other teams in Formula One development time. 4 months is not just a small delay, it's a whole phase where they check and prove ideas. That's hundreds of tests, thousands of pieces of data, different airflow ideas, tested, thrown out, and improved. So when Adrian Newey arrived, he didn't get a finished idea. He got a clock that was running out. And here's what most fans don't notice. When time is short, top designers don't fix small things. They focus on the basic structure. Structure means ideas about suspension, cooling setup, gearbox placement, side pod size spread, weight balance options for future changes. It's the frame of the car. Aston Martin isn't just making a chassis. For the first time, they're building their own gearbox and rear suspension instead of getting them from Mercedes. That one change completely changes the airflow base. The way the back of the car works with airflow, the diffuser growth features, the anti-squat and anti-dive shapes, all of it moves. If you look at how Newey worked before at Williams McLaren and Red Bull Racing, one thing always happens. He makes cars that get faster over time, not right away. That's really important. Now let's look at Bahrain. 206 laps over 3 days, about 3.5 full race lengths. That sounds okay on paper, but look closer. Lance Stroll lost important track time because of an engine problem. They missed a lot of running on day 3 because of a mechanical issue, and Alonso's long runs didn't have steady speed. If you check long run differences from similar midfield teams, the AMR26's tire wear wasn't awful, but it was not steady in medium speed corners. That usually means problems with platform control. In other words, the car isn't keeping a steady airflow position when it changes direction. That's not always a bad idea. It's a matching problem, and matching is exactly what happens when wind tunnel info, computer air simulations, and real track driving don't line up yet. Remember, their tunnel started late. That means less time to fix differences. Now let's talk about the second thing, the power unit. Aston Martin becomes a full official partner with Honda in 2026, but this isn't like Honda's last years with Red Bull. This is a complete new build under new rules that make electric power use way more important. The 2026 rules move things towards smarter energy control. If the mix of engine power to electric power isn't perfect yet, you can lose a lot of time on straights, maybe more. When Stroll says they are 4 seconds off, we need the full story. Were they using safe energy settings? Were they protecting cooling parts? Were they trying different electric use times instead of going for fastest single laps? Testing lap times without the full picture or extra stuff? What matters is their plan. And this is where Newey's actions tell us something. Pedro de la Rosa talked about a strong moment. After a hard day, Newey leads the team meeting, speaks clearly, and everyone gets on the same page. No arguments inside, no different ideas flying around. That is huge. Because Aston Martin's biggest problem in past seasons wasn't money, it wasn't buildings. It was how fast they could agree and move forward. They often brought upgrades that looked good on computers but didn't work on track. Development stopped in the middle of the season. Speed died down. What Newey seems to be doing right now isn't getting max downforce, he's getting rid of confusion. Notice the image. Clipboard in hand, walking around the garage, watching quietly. That's not panic. That's check and fix mode. He's finding which ways are strong and which are weak, and that changes everything for the long run. Now think about the chain reaction. If Newey successfully sets one clear airflow idea early in 2026, Aston Martin won't just get better this year, they'll speed up fast in 2027 and 2028. Why? Because once matching is fixed, development becomes straight and easy to predict. Think about early Red Bull under Newey. They didn't win everything right away, but once the base was right, their upgrades during the season became super strong. Each change built on the last one well. Aston Martin may be building that base right now. And then there's Fernando Alonso. When he says it's not like Newey forgot how to design a car, that's not just blind support. That's trust from experience. Alonso has driven championship-winning Newey cars before. He knows how they get better. He knows the difference between a bad chassis and one that just hasn't found its sweet spot yet. His trust in the chassis is total. His worry is about the power unit side. That difference tells us a lot because chassis, stuff they control inside the team. Power unit work needs teamwork with Honda. That learning might take more time, but once they get it right, the speed jump could be big. Now let's look at the big picture. Lawrence Stroll's plan for Aston Martin is a 10-year project. They are about halfway through. The new factory, the wind tunnel, the Honda partnership, Newey's arrival. These are big long-term choices, not quick bets. So maybe 2026 was never about winning right away. Maybe it's about getting everything in sync, syncing gearbox ideas with airflow plans, syncing suspension movement with floor air sensitivity, syncing electric power use with air drag shapes. If that sounds hard, it is. But hard stuff is where Newey does best. And here's the most interesting part. Newey has already said the car for Melbourne will look very different from the Barcelona one. That means big changes are already happening, not small fixes, clear idea changes you can see. That shows confidence because teams only make big visible changes if they think they know the problem. So while people in the paddock might see Bahrain as weakness for Aston Martin, this could be the tough setup time before they speed up. Being in the middle might just be the outside look of something much bigger. A team rebuilding its technical core under one of the best designers in the sport. And if that core locks in, the power balance in Formula One might change way sooner than anyone thinks. So here's the real question. Are we seeing Aston Martin fall apart because of big hopes, or the tough start of the next top team in Formula One? Because if Adrian Newey has really got this team all behind one airflow plan, being in the middle might just be a short trick. And by mid-season, we might be talking about a totally different power setup in the paddock. Let me know your ideas in the comments. I want to see if anyone has noticed what Newey is really keeping secret.